Don't hate people who have more than you do. Look at what they're doing and think about what problems have they identified, what problems have they solved, and how have they developed systems that allow them to solve these problems. Once you start asking yourself questions like these, you'll notice your entire mindset shifts because you're no longer thinking like a consumer. What's up? My name's Mike. Today I want to talk about money. And I don't know if money is really the word I'm looking for. It's more about wealth, right? And the idea that everything you know about money, everything you know about building wealth is completely wrong. When I was younger, I used to genuinely hate rich people. You know, you're sitting there making minimum wage, working 40-hour days or 40-hour weeks, working, 60-hour weeks sometimes, and you're barely getting by on that. You can barely afford the bare necessities in life. You are genuinely struggling every single day. And so when you turn on the news or when you see articles about how some odd person just made $100 million or this is now the richest person on earth, or, you start to resent the other side. I think part of it is that I never really understood how anyone could ever make that much money. And because I didn't understand it, I just assumed that they must have stolen it from someone, or they must have ripped somebody off. Like, they had to have done something unethical to get that much money. And I won't lie, I mean, some people have. But what I've started to realize is that making money, building wealth, is really just about providing value. So let me explain this a little bit. Think about it this way, right? My first job ever was working at a farmer's market. I was essentially a bag boy, but if you've been to a farmer's market, there's no checkout areas really. It's like you just walk around and you exchange cash. I'm sure they have cards now, but anyway, that's how it was when I worked. And my job was to help bring people's groceries to their car. I'd help set up the tents in the morning. I'd wake up at 3-4 in the morning, go and set up tents, work there all day long, collect my tips. And at the end of the day, and I say tips because we pooled our tips. So anyway, and then at the end of the day, I'd take down the tents and break down the market, stuff like that. Think about the value that I was providing in the position that I had. Think about the fact that pretty much anybody, any able-bodied person could have done my job. Think about the fact that the amount of people that I was serving on a daily basis was just isolated to the people who, 1, went to the farmer's market every Saturday morning, 2, were buying items at the farmer's market and not the sellers, and then 3, were people who actually wanted the service of, I need my stuff carried to my car. And then 4, people who actually wanted to tip you, right? So I had a very small subset, a very small niche, we'll call it, of people who would use my services. So of course I was getting paid minimum wage, which was $8.25 an hour back in my day, right? Whatever. But anyway, but that's what I did. And I was mad at the fact that I couldn't make more money. So think about it this way. What is more valuable? Is it more valuable that somebody can help carry your stuff to the car for you? Or would it be more valuable if you never had to leave your house in the first place and the food was just delivered for you? Not saying that I would have done this at this age, but I could have said, hey, I have a car, and I could have talked to the people who were regulars at the farmer's market, and I could have said, hey, I know what you buy on a week-to-week basis. Why don't you send me the money, then I add my service fee, and I add my delivery fee, and I can deliver your food to you every single Saturday morning. That's a service that I could have charged for. But then again, I'm still kind of limited, because the only people that I can serve are the people who are going to that farmer's market. So how do I serve more people? How do I add value to more people? Well, the number one way now would be through the internet. And this is exactly what's happening. Now we have food delivery services. We have Grubhub. We have Uber Eats. We have Amazon delivery. We have entire meal kit delivery services as well. There's things like Blue Box and Butcher Box. And I don't know, I think there's one called Sprout or something. But anyway, there's entire services that make tons and tons of money because they're providing value. They are identifying problems that people have, first of all, and then they were creating a service that helps to solve those problems. So if you start to rethink wealth, if you start to rethink money, then you can start to understand how to build a business, and you can start to understand how to generate wealth, true wealth, not trading your time for money. Not trading your time for money, but instead developing a system that will generate you wealth. As I said, there's delivery services, right? What is the problem? The problem is that people don't want to have to drive every single day or every single week to pick up their groceries. Maybe they go to the store and they realize that things are out of stock. So what you do is you have a online stock where they can order whatever they want from wherever they are, and they don't even have to think about it. What's another problem? People spend too much time cooking. So what do? Oh, I have a solution to that. What if I just sent you pre-made meals or a kit with all the ingredients so that you could just assemble it and cut the time that you spend thinking and actually cooking the meals in half, less than half. So that's how you can start to identify problems, start to add value to people, and then start serving large amounts of people. So I want you to think about the modern businesses. Companies like Amazon. Think about what problems are they solving. When you go to your local grocery store, look at the model of it. What problems are they solving? Think about what makes this business, what makes this service unique. And all of a sudden, you can start identifying business ideas in your day-to-day lives. So the people who are very wealthy, the people who are extremely rich, are people who are very good at identifying problems and then coming up with solutions to those problems. And they don't do everything themselves, right? The people who are smart, like the really, really smart people, they don't create jobs for themselves with their businesses. So you don't want to generate a business where you create a job for yourself. You want to generate a business that can run without you doing any work, or you can hire people to do the heavy lifting for you. And the benefit of that is that when you hire people who are specialists in what they do, they can provide much better service than you can at that thing. For instance, with my videos, as soon as I can, I'm going to be hiring a video editor. I'm going to be hiring someone to come up with thumbnails. I'm going to be hiring someone to do search engine optimization. Like, if my channel grows to a point where I need to start thinking about larger scale problems, I'm not going to handle those problems on my own. I'm going to find people who specialize in solving those problems for me, and I will pay them for their time. Because there's other things that I'd rather be doing with my time. But again, this is how we start to grow the business. So I want you to rethink wealth. I want you to rethink money. Don't hate people who have more than you do. Look at what they're doing and think about, what can I learn from them? And what are they doing that I'm not doing? You know, what problems have they identified? What problems have they solved? And how have they developed systems that allow them to solve these problems? Once you start asking yourself questions like these, you'll notice your entire mindset shifts because you're no longer thinking like a consumer. When you walk into the Apple store, you don't look around at all the different Apple devices thinking about how cool they are. You look around and you see employees, you see products, you see marketing, and you start to break it all down and you say, oh wow, I wonder why they put the accessories right next to the newest devices. Because when you buy the device, you look over and there's an upsell. I get the new iPad, but I need a little pen. I need a new case. I need a new charger. They do that on purpose. It's all business tactics, right? But you have to start looking for it. And once you start looking for it, you do not stop. This is the best part. Your entire mindset shifts. And man, I just wish that I had done this sooner. I really wish that this is one thing that I had identified sooner in my life, because I would have done so many things differently. So many things I would have done differently. But with all that being said, you know, I'm on my own self-improvement journey. And if you want to hop on the ride and learn with me and hear the different lessons that I've learned along the way, then feel free to subscribe. You know, I'm really excited to share these things with you. I really appreciate the time that you took today. That's all I really got for you. And until next time.